Hi guys, happy Monday. I keep trying to do this video and things keep on happening where I'm not able to finish it. So hopefully this time around, it is 11:11. So that's a nice little sign. I started the video at 11:11. So here's the thing. We have the Virgo full moon tonight. If you would like to be a part of that ritual, I'm only doing the rituals through memberships, where I did offer them before on an individual basis that you could get on my website, but I'm not doing that anymore because I had to streamline the process. This Mercury retrograde taught me a lot of things about organization and my health and how they correlate with each other. So in efforts to show you how I learn to make things better for myself, easier for myself, right now I needed to streamline that. Maybe in the future I'll be able to open it back up again to the public, but if you would like to be a part of the ritual tonight, I am offering the ritual to all membership levels, so from basic to exclusive, or you can go to Patreon, and any of the memberships will have access to that. And so there you go. This Virgo full moon is about releasing expectations of yourself and others, and it's about recognizing that where we've held ourselves back in the past, we're no longer going to do that. We need to allow ourselves to move forward with confidence. The next new moon is in Aries. So this full moon is always, the Virgo full moon is always the last full moon of the astrological new year. And it's basically the cleanup, right? I mean, I hate to be so cliche about Virgo and cleaning up, but it really is. It's basically about cleaning up everything that you don't like about how you're presenting yourself into the world. Cleaning up everything about how, when you beat yourself up and you tell yourself, that you're not good enough because of this, and this, right? This is about reminding yourself of who you really are and that you don't have to be all of those things all of the time. This is the cleanup. So what I would like for my wish for all of you is to look at and see what Mercury has taught you about organization, about your health, about allowing yourself to be who you truly are. Ask yourself what the last 2 months, this year has been very, very eye-opening. And I know it's not eye-opening just for me. I know it's eye-opening for a lot of people. So take a moment. Slow down and take a moment and let yourself assess what you have learned so far, okay? And don't do it out of judgment. Don't think of all the bad and negative things that happened this year or bad and negative things that happened during this retrograde and be like, oh my God, I'm such a horrible person. Betsy told me to reassess my life and it sucks. It's terrible. Don't judge it. Don't say how bad it is. Don't say how good it is. Don't say anything about it. Just let it exist. And then say, what's not working for me? And how do I change that about myself? Instead of forcing that judgment on who you are and what you've done and who other people are and what they've done, you have to look at it in a way of, how can I change to better myself? Not how can I change for other people? How can I change for me? You see? Let's see what the cards have to say. I know this year has been really eye-opening for me. And this is sort of what I'm saying. There is the Five of Cups is the first card that came out, and the Seven of Pentacles. The Five of Cups is a card of regret, but it's a card of looking into the past and regretting seeing what you've lost and like focusing on what you've lost and not seeing what you still have in front of you, not seeing what you have managed to keep in front, keep going and keep in front of you. And what you have in front of you is enough to plant the seeds with the Seven of Pentacles. What you have in front of you is enough to let the past go. And let all of the things that got you to this point, let you realize that, sure, that it existed. It was painful. It was probably really painful. But it was also in an effort to, it was also in an effort to let you see all right, you guys, seriously. All right, listen. I wanted to in some way, sorry if I get a little choked up here. I wanted to in some way spin this in a positive because that's who I am. I'm an optimistic person. That's what I do. I turn everything into a positive. I know who this reading is for. And I know that there are several people out there that are feeling this right now. And this is not for a person that is looking on the bright side of things. Okay. I have the Page of Pentacles. I have the 10 of Swords. And I have the 2 of Wands. Do not make a decision in your life. I know you feel like you're at a crossroads. I know a lot of us feel like we're at a crossroads right now, and we have to be able to make a decision on going one way or another, or we have to allow ourselves to be honest about what's going on and all of this stuff, right? That 10 of Swords is the projection that everything that's happening to you or everything that's going to happen to you in the future is the worst possible case scenario. This reading is somebody who's saying, I'm not good enough, and I'm not good enough based on all of the things that I've already been through. I'm not good enough because of this. It's like, and I instantly wanted to say when the 5 of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles came out, that it was literally someone saying, everything I touch turns to shit. Now, is that actually true? I don't think that's true. I honestly don't think that's true. I think that there is, there's a different way of going about the thought process of not being good enough or not feeling like you're good enough in some way, shape, or form. This Mercury retrograde brought some lessons into your life to help you be the best version of you that you can possibly be. If you don't feel like you're the best version of you can possibly be, then what did this retrograde show you to change so that you can feel like you're the best version of who you can possibly be? Are you being honest with yourself, or are you just creating more havoc and chaos in your life so that you can camouflage that you don't have, the more chaos that you have going on in your world, that's a reflection of how you feel about yourself. If you don't feel particularly good about yourself right now, your world is going to show you that. In every way possible. And pushing yourself to do more, to be more, to hustle, is only going to make it worse. But in your mind, that you feel like that's all you can do. I just got to keep going. I just got to keep going. Now, the survival instinct is very real. And some of us, and I've been one of them, sometimes I still feel like I'm one of them. Some of us only know how to survive. We don't know how to live. We don't know how to be happy. We don't know how to thrive, right? Some of us only know how to survive. And how do you stop that? How do you stop the constant fear of needing to survive all the time, you take a step back and you say, what's not working for me? What do I keep trying to force to work in my life that just isn't? And you start to let things go. Stop holding on to things because you think that that's what's best for you. No matter how much you keep on banging your head up against a brick wall to make it work, you keep thinking that this is what's best, this is what's best, this is what's best. Let's clarify. The Five of Cups. Okay. And the fear of even making a decision because you're afraid to make the wrong one, I can understand that. The Knight of Wands is that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? So the more you're afraid to make a decision, the harder it's going to be to make. And I would never recommend anybody making a decision in fear. So don't make a decision based on emotional standpoint. If you feel a certain way about something, I want you to stop because you're judging it. You're judging the situation and you're judging yourself within the situation. You see? So how do you get out of that? Well, meditation always works for me. If you're not good with meditating, you need to start to realize that meditation is not a job. It's not something like, it's not an act that you perform. Meditation is just closing your eyes and listening to your breath and becoming present and closing off the world, closing off the chaos of the world, because the decisions that you're trying to make are based on what has happened to you in the past and the regrets of all of it. You cannot make a decision when you're in the middle of chaos. You can't make a sane, logical decision when you're in the middle of chaos. And the way that you retreat from chaos is meditation. You don't have to sit on a mat for meditation. You don't have to be a yogi for meditation. You don't have to go Om for meditation. All you have to do is get quiet and listen to your intuition. And getting quiet, this is the other thing about meditation. I didn't realize this reading was going to turn into a meditation review or like teach you guys how to meditate. The other thing about meditation is you do not have to make the thoughts go away. It's about cataloging the thoughts that come into your mind. Because those things that come up when you start to quiet your mind, the things that show up in your mind, they're supposed to be there. They make themselves known, so you take care of it in the 3D world. What do you do in the midst of a meditation and a thought shows up? You catalog it. You file it away in your brain. You say, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I will deal with that in the 3D. And if you don't deal with it in the 3D, it's going to come back up in meditation. But meditation allows you to recognize it without judgment, without telling yourself it's good or bad. You see? So allowing yourself to plant the seeds based on your intuition and not just the back and forth, back and forth. This is why the planting of the seeds feels so chaotic, because you keep on going back to what hasn't worked in the past. There is a cycle that wants to complete right now in your life. But the more you dwell on that cycle, the harder it is to complete it. The harder it is to see the lesson and how to not continue the same cycle over and over and over again. If this means that you need to manage your time better, if it means you need to manage your money better, if it means that you need to manage your emotional standpoint, if it means you need to manage your health, whatever it is that you're trying to release during this full moon, be honest with yourself about that. Let's see what that Page of Pentacles is. Okay, so, the Devil and Justice. Here's the thing. The balance comes from within. You cannot change your environment, Seven of Pentacles, without changing how you feel about everything else first inside. And the recognition with that, the Devil and Justice, there is this karmic balance that's happening. The Page of Pentacles is like the student, the beginning, a new adventure, a new journey, something that's a little bit more stable than the past was. And karmically, it's going to create balance in your life. But are you seeing that for what it is, or are you continuously questioning how you feel about what this karmic balance means for you? You're getting an opportunity to start over again. You're getting an opportunity to do things differently. So how are you going to take that? Are you going to let yourself think, oh man, just like worst case scenario, nothing's ever going to work for me. I'm always going to be in this cycle. It's never ending, da 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 da. All of those things that we like to tell ourselves. It's a big fat lie. Anyways, let's see what the Ten of Swords is. Ooh, I love it when Spirit does that. Oh man. So, yes, you're sabotaging yourself, are you? Allowing yourself to think the worst case scenario when it's not the worst case scenario. I don't know if you guys have recognized my little friend here. So, my son, my youngest, Jack, I like to talk about him a lot. He's a Leo, Aquarius rising, Scorpio moon. He's very, what's the word that I want to, he's very spirited, kind of stubborn, hard-headed. Anyway, lovable, lovable, lovable. He decided that he didn't want my Buddha to be lonely. So he put his little Ryan's World. Ryan's World is Ryan is a YouTube sensation for children. If you don't have kids, then you probably don't know who Ryan's World is or who Ryan is with Ryan's World. But Jack did not want my Buddha to be lonely. So I have two happy Buddhas. I looked over here and I saw that and I was like, let's talk about my friend for a minute. See how I decided to choose again to change the whole mood of this reading. That's what I do. I distract and I decide to choose again. We don't want to sit in that Ten of Swords anymore. This is your opportunity to change. The Wheel of Fortune is showing up on the Ten of Swords to let you know that you letting yourself go down that rabbit hole, that Ten of Swords rabbit hole, I mean, you can do that if you want to, or you can see this as an opportunity to do something different with yourself, with your life, with the way you have been handling circumstances or handling the cycles that you've been going through, and seeing it for what it is. It doesn't have to be a negative all the time. You can look at it and you can say, all right. See, here's the thing. Let's see what the bottom of the deck is. The Nine of Swords. All right. Here's the thing, you guys. The Chariot on the Two of Wands Sometimes you just have to make a different decision than what you've been making before, and that's what's going to push you forward. There's something that's been nudging you for quite some time to do. There's something that you can't stop yourself from knowing the truth of. And it's not about telling yourself how bad of a person you are because of the decisions you've made up until now. Up until now, no longer exists. What does exist is right now. All you have to do is make a choice to do different. Be different than you were in the past. Choose differently. That's what this full moon is asking of you. Surrendering. Survival and surrendering can be the same thing, but you have to have faith and you have to trust that you're being supported. And even if you're in your mind, you're thinking, I know, Betsy, I know I'm supported. I get it. I hear it all the time. I'm so supported. Do you believe it? And if you don't believe it, then it's time to get yourself, it's time to be patient with yourself. Get yourself out of that mindset, the 9 of Swords and Temperance. Balance out your heart and your mind. It doesn't have to be so hard. You don't have to be so hard on yourself. Life doesn't have to be so difficult. And it's up to you to make that choice. You see? I love you guys. Sorry if I was a little bit preachy today. Somebody is not doing very well, or a couple of somebodies aren't doing very well. And it hurts my heart. And all I want to do is like pull you out of the depths of your despair and like give you a great big hug. So here's your hug. And I hope you join me for the ritual tonight. It's going to be really amazing, and it's going to be great. So you can do that through the membership channel. You can either click join underneath the video, or you can go to Patreon. All of that information is also in the description box. I love you guys. I will be finishing readings, general readings. I have Scorpio and Capricorn and Gemini left to do. I'm sorry that it's taking me so long. This Mercury retrograde sort of took a lot out of me as well, but I learned a lot, and I'm choosing to grow from it. There you go. Lesson learned. I love you guys. Have a good day. Bye.